This morning, our gathering song is going to be provided by our children. So I'm going to call the children and any teachers or parents who want to come forward with them. What we're going to do is what we usually do when we go back on the green rug. And depending on what instrument we have, sometimes we start with our hands in our lap and our hands go up. Today, Joan is going to ring the chime. Kids, you can come forward while we're doing this. Joan is going to ring the chime. We'll start, and you guys can too. Start with your hands up, and you'll listen for the sound of the chime. And as it gets quieter, you'll put your hands down, and that will center us. And then we will sing our opening song. And we've got another song that we like to sing that I think you'll like to hear us sing, and you're welcome to join in with us if you want to.
There's a welcome here, there's a welcome here, there's a you welcome here, hallelujah, there's a welcome here, there's a welcome here, there's a you welcome here. We usually do our chalice lighting now, but instead today we're going to do another song that we like that's about welcoming and being glad that you're here, and it goes in, out, up, down. So if you want to join in, it's in, out, up, down. Okay? I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right back, because you're here. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right back, because you're here. Because you are you, and I am you too. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right back, because you're here. Let's do it again a little bit faster. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right back, because you're here. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right back, because you're here. Because I am you, and you are you too. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right back.
So fast.
Sorry.
It's okay. For millennia, the Western Abenaki people have called this land home. They have loved and cared for this land, and we now have the privilege of gathering here as a religious community. Let us do so honoring this legacy of love and stewardship. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Reverend Joan Javier Duval. Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Montpelier for this time of worship. We deeply appreciate your presence and your fellowship. The Unitarian Church of Montpelier is a Unitarian Universalist congregation. We welcome all into this community that affirms the worth and dignity of every person and the interdependence we share with all existence. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, whatever your age, race, class, religious beliefs, or questions, we are so glad that you are here today, whether you are here in the sanctuary or joining on our live stream. This morning, we share in our annual celebration of lifespan spiritual exploration and also take part in a beloved tradition of honoring our teenagers who are entering young adulthood. This is a special morning, and people of all ages are welcome to stay in the sanctuary for the full worship service. It's always a pleasure to have newcomers and guests join us in our time of worship. And if this is your first or even your second time, coming here and you feel comfortable doing so, we invite you to stand or wave your hand so we can offer you a special welcome. Thank you. We're so glad that you and any other newcomers are here today. Any of you who are new to our congregation and our worship service are invited to fill out our welcome form, which is available downstairs in the vestry at the hospitality table. Let's see. And we can all join in the spirit of welcoming by taking a few moments to turn to our neighbors in the pews and offering a few words of greeting. Thank you for sharing those warm greetings with one another. And you're invited to continue these conversations after the service during coffee hour. Please know that we have hearing assist devices that are available on the table at the rear of the sanctuary, and you can also listen to and watch the service downstairs in the fireplace room if you wish to leave the sanctuary for any reason. There are many ways to take part in the life of our congregation, and here are just a few. Middle schoolers are invited to gather in the Children's Chapel today from 11:30 to 1 p.m. for the last gathering of the church year. We hope you'll come. The lay pastoral care team is hosting a conversation on the topic of anxiety today at 11:30 in the fireplace room, and any and all are welcome. The final meeting and potluck dinner of the Women's Alliance is this Tuesday evening. Business meeting at 5 p.m. and dinner at 5:30. And finally, next Sunday, June 9th, is the final Sunday of our regular church year before our summer season. You're invited to bring a cut flower with you to worship to participate in our annual flower communion. And there will also be an all-church potluck lunch during coffee hour. For more details about any of these events and for additional announcements, please consult the weekly e-news. And now, I invite you to take a breath to arrive more fully. Ensure that your cell phones and any other devices that make noise are silenced. And let us enter more deeply into our time of worship with our prelude being played this morning by Callum Robechek, one of our bridging youth.
Little blue, be my shelter, be my cradle, be my womb, be my board, be my river, be the stillness of the moon. If I could, I'd go with you to a place I never knew. In your eyes, so dark and open, there's a light that leads me back to you. 'Cause you're not so far away. I hear you say you'll never walk alone. Singing, don't be afraid of the dark. In your heart, you're gonna find your way to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're gonna find your way, find your way. You're gonna find your
Thank you, Callum. And I would like to invite our chalice lighters to come forward. Our chalice lighters this morning are Becky Weber and Isla Robechek, who are representing the nursery team. Esme and Clara are busy this morning, and Lee Tucker and Georgina Haas are holding down the fort in the nursery. We are so grateful for the work this team does every week. They're not usually here for the chalice lighting, so here you go. Good luck. This morning, yes, please. This morning, we light our chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, in honor of all those who serve lifespan spiritual exploration. For the Sunday mornings you would rather stay in bed. For the evening meetings when it's snowy and cold and it's a struggle to leave your house. For the mornings in the nursery without any babies. For the mornings in the nursery when there are plenty of babies and they are all crying at once. For all the hard questions, those you ask and those you try to answer. For all the times you scramble to polish your lesson plans. For all the times you suddenly remember you need lesson plans. For the ways you encourage the shy ones, listen thoughtfully to the chatty ones, laugh with the silly ones, and share tears with the sad ones. For the adventures of lessons that are derailed by children or adults who take everyone in a totally new direction. For all the ways you create a safe place to wonder and grow, no matter your age. Most of all, we light this chalice to honor and thank you, our spiritual exploration volunteers, for simply showing up and being present, and for lending each other support, smiles, and helping hands in the sacred work you do together. And now let us join in the words of our covenant that you'll find in your order of service. We covenant to speak
honestly and listen deeply to each other and the voice within. Treat each other with compassion and honor our differences. Take responsibility for the impact our words, actions, and inactions have on each other. Support each other in times of need and of grief, and celebrate the beauty and joy in our lives. Honor the gifts of the past and be gentle with each other as we grow. Encourage each other in the brave work of creating a more beloved community and a healthy, sustainable world, and forgive each other and start again.
Please stand in body or spirit as we sing one of my favorite songs, This Little Light of Mine. And in the words of Cat Stevens, if you want to sing out, sing out. Thank you. And now our bridging families can go into where they're supposed to be, and the welcoming people can go where they're supposed to be, and we will begin our bridging service. So bridging families over here, welcoming people over there. So, okay, you can come right up here, right up here. And bridgers, if you'll stand here. So Ezra and Cal, Ezra and Mila, you want to be, because everybody wants to see you guys. One of my favorite spring traditions is our uniquely Unitarian Universalist celebration and ceremony of bridging. As UUs, we recognize that the transition from youth to young adult is a moment to be celebrated, a process to be supported, and a reminder of the enduring commitment made by our spiritual community to these emerging adults. Bridging is the term we use for the ceremony that we celebrate this morning to honor this tradition. Bridging also marks the transition from the programs for children and youth at UCM to finding one's place within the community of young adults, taking on new responsibilities, exploring ethical questions, and searching for purpose and meaning. It gives me tremendous joy. I mean, I really mean it. It gives me tremendous joy to introduce the bridging group of 2024. Mila Gelsinon, Callum Robechek, and Ezra Merrill triplet. I have known these young people since they were wee ones in our Sunday morning programs. Remembering them as children makes me smile. In preschool, Ezra was full of life and always searching for answers. He was the champion of the "but why" questions. Mila arrived with a positive attitude, full of smiles and always ready for fun. Even as a young girl, she was already working for social justice as a founding member of the Bernie Club. Callum was thoughtful and contemplative. You could almost see the wheels turning, always thinking. He also gave one of my all-time favorite answers to a question in Time for All Ages. Yes, you could do that, but it depends on how you want to spend your life. Just as they were moving from childhood to youth, their time at UCM was interrupted by COVID. They missed out on many of our traditional programs, such as coming of age. And yet, the memory of their early days in the spiritual community has brought them back here to be among us this morning. Mila's mom said her Irish name means honey or sweet words. Her light is so bright and her energy is so contagious, you are forever changed when you know her. She has lived 1,000,000 lives already and continues to be kind, compassionate, loving, and thoughtful. She fights for what's right and will leave nobody behind. She was born fierce, rebellious, and unstoppable. You're doing great, Mila. The fun has just begun. Mila won the state championship in Skills USA for digital film production, and after high school will travel to Georgia for the national leg of the competition, which includes creating a new short film. Callum's musical gifts have blessed us all this morning, and during Music Sunday, we were thrilled to hear the choir sing "Water Berries Too," a piece he wrote for the Vermont Symphony Orchestra about last year's flood. He is involved in all kinds of music and all phases of music, from composing to performing, and I personally thought he made an awesome Cedric Diggory in his junior year musical. Callum's mom shared this fun fact. Callum started taking piano lessons when he was 6, but he was too shy to play in public for a long time, and he refused to play in his piano recitals. The first time he felt brave enough to play piano in public was playing the Prelude at UCM when he was about 8. Now he is headed to New York City to study music composition at NYU. Ezra's mom shared this. Ezra Leaf Merrill Triplett has been building his own bridge to adulthood for a long time. For years, he has found ways to prove that he can write his own script, choose his own path, find his own way, and take care of all of his own needs. Ezra taught me that parenting is actually a long process of letting go of a competent, free-range human who can make decisions and mistakes and figure out what he needs. Parenting Ezra has been one of the best roller coaster rides of my life. Ezra enjoys being a minimalist and a vegetarian, hydrating well, sewing cool gear, making his sister Maisie laugh, and the ultra-long distance running. Later this year, Ezra will represent the U.S. in the World Youth Sky Running competition in Europe. Ezra has also been helping with the care of his grandfather, who recently suffered a stroke. And now I'll turn it over to Joan.
Just a PSA that there are tissue boxes in the windowsill. I've already grabbed mine. For nearly 160 years, candles have shared their light and warmth in this sanctuary. The light from our flaming chalice symbolizes all of those who came before us, lighting candles and lighting our path with the light of their dedication, treasure, and love. It also symbolizes the love of this church family and of our larger Unitarian Universalist movement, that has nurtured these youth on their journeys thus far. There are also youth who have been nurtured on their journeys and are entering young adulthood who are not present with us this morning. We honor their transition, as well as the transition their parents are making into this new chapter of their spiritual journeys. If you are a parent present today whose child is now moving into young adulthood, we also hold you with love this morning. Callum, Ezra, and Mila, when you were children, your parents brought you into the light of this sacred space and community. They found a spark here, which they shared with you. And now your parents will take the light from our chalice, light a candle that you will be holding, and we invite you to carry your lit candle across our metaphorical bridge, across the chancel, out into the world, where you will be greeted by some of your former teachers and others who have crossed this bridge before you. As the ceremony comes to a close, we'll join in a congregational blessing, and we ask that you hold your applause until we conclude the blessing. And I'd like to invite the parents for it.
We hope these small gifts will remind you of your time at UCM and of our spiritual community, which will always be here to serve you.
Along with the small gift, we have a rose for each of you. Unlike other flowers used in UU ceremonies, where the thorns have been removed, these stems come with all the thorns intact. This is a reminder that life is filled with petals and thorns. The path isn't always going to be easy, and just like the rest of us, you'll make some mistakes along the way. But always remember that the road that takes you away can also bring you back. We'll be here. Congratulations and welcome.
Now let us share in a time of blessing our bridgers, sharing with them the gratitude and loving kindness flowing in our hearts and illuminating these young adults in this moment. We invite you now, whether you are here in the sanctuary or joining virtually, to create some energy. And then extend your hands towards our bridgers. Through your hands, send your positive energy, your love, and your caring for them. Let's take a moment to hold this year's bridgers in love. And now let us join together in saying the blessing that is printed in your order of service. Our love is always with you to support you into adulthood. Okay, now, please join in whatever celebratory noise-making the Spirit moves in you.
Our commitment to support our youth extends to young people beyond our congregation. And in that spirit, our community pouch recipient for the month of June is the Education Justice Coalition of Vermont's BIPOC Overnight Camp for Black and Indigenous youth and youth of color. Our pouch recipient was selected by UCM's middle school group. And we have a short video to share with you about the camp.
Hello, my name is Kayla Loving, and I work at the Education Justice Coalition of Vermont. I am one of the directors of our BIPOC Overnight Camp, or BOC. The mission of BOC is to bring youth of color into nature and provide opportunities for connection, healing, and joy. We are so excited to be hosting our second camp for about 40 youth from all over Vermont. Our camp has a generous sliding scale and no one is turned away for lack of funds. Many of our campers attend for free. We have a goal of raising $30,000 for this year's camp. Please help us reach our goal if you can. Here are some of last year's campers sharing about their experience.
Hi, I'm Ayushma. I'm a junior at South Fulton High School. I'm really excited to attend this camp to meet and enjoy my time alongside youth just like me around Vermont.
Rena, sophomore at Colchester. I'm excited to join BIPOC Overnight Camp to connect with other youth of color.
My name is Mary. I'm a junior at Winooski High School, and I'll be returning to the BIPOC Summer Camp. I had so much fun last year, and I hope to meet more BIPOC youth around the state this year.
I'm excited to be able to be a part of the Black Indigenous People of Color Camp. I'm excited to be a part of it because I've never experienced what it would be like to spend overnight in a camp and to learn about Indigenous people and more so Black Indigenous people in general.
Our giving is a spiritual act, and our generosity is a form of love and gratitude that helps us to practice the values of Unitarian Universalism with our collective resources. Each month through the UCM Community Pouch program, we share part of our collection with a community organization aligned with our values. Half of the cash offerings will go to our pouch recipient, and the other half will directly support the mission and ministry of this congregation. You can find the offering pouches at the ends of the pews by the windows. Please pass them toward the center aisle. And you can also make your donation online. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for your generosity in its many forms, and your offering will now be gratefully received.
I'd like to invite the children to come forward too. This is the time we're going to sing with the adults.
In the morning of my life, I shall look to the sunrise. At a moment in my life when the world is new, and the blessing I shall ask is that God will grant me to be brave and strong and true, and to fill the world with love my whole life through.
the noontime of my life I shall look to the sunshine. At a moment in my life when the sky is blue, and the blessing I shall ask will remain unchanging. To be brave and strong and true, and to fill the world with love my whole life through, and to fill the world with love, and to fill the world with love, and to fill the world with love my whole life through.
In the evening of my life, I shall look to the sunset. At a moment in my life when the night is due, and the question I shall ask only I can answer. Was I brave and strong and true? Did I fill the world with love my whole life through? Did I fill my world with love? Did I fill my world with love? Did I fill my world with love? My whole life through.
You've been sitting a long time, so if you would like to do this next part standing up, I invite you to do so. If you would like to do this next part sitting down, that's perfectly fine too. If you would just like to watch and listen, that's okay. We are going to do a short body prayer. And so if you'd like to rise, you may rise. I'm just going to give you the clue. And if you want to sit, you can sit. But I'm going to start behind the pulpit here, so you won't see it, but my feet are going to be moving. Whoops. So it's a microphone. So my feet will be moving, and yours can too. And so this is the first movement that we're going to do. Wake me up. Open my eyes so that I can see the joy and wonder that surrounds me. Easy. Ready? Let's do it. We'll do it a couple times together with words, and then we'll do it silently. And then we will stand for about 30 seconds, or sit, for about 30 seconds of quiet meditation, and then Eliza will start playing Spirit of Life. So, are you ready? Wake me up. Open my eyes to the joy and wonder that surrounds me. Wake me up. Open my eyes to the joy and wonder that surrounds me. One more time. Wake me up. Open my eyes to the joy and wonder that surrounds me. Thank you. Now I'll have 30 seconds of quiet meditation. faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's... I guess we come from different times. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. Yes, Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. Chances are that if you grew up in a time and place similar to me, you could probably quote the introduction to the 1950s syndicated series, The Adventures of Superman, and the parts I omitted as well. Unless you were a fan of comic books, which I don't even think you could buy in my little town, this was your first introduction to a superhero. Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter, would he would remove his glasses, step out of sight for a moment, and re-emerged ready to fight injustice, dressed in red and blue tights, something like underwear trimmed in yellow, a flowing cape, and a slightly different hairstyle. He had amazing powers, which he always used for good, and he could fly. Back in October, I was unsure how to address the volunteers working with our children on Sunday mornings. I was getting feedback from several directions about the proper way to refer to these volunteers, these Sunday morning volunteers. Some folks said teachers was so passé, too much like school. Maybe leaders or mentors would be better. How about guides or facilitators? While all of those suggestions were just fine titles, it occurred to me that superheroes was more fitting. It was certainly accurate and appropriate for the volunteers for those who volunteered every week. Our UCM Sunday morning superheroes are much like Clark Kent, mild-mannered, reserved, quiet, and even a bit shy. Each Sunday, it is the same. Without fanfare, fireworks, the release of glitter or confetti, these amazing superheroes show up ready to give of themselves to the children, our UCM children. They slip into the sanctuary unnoticed, leaving their capes stuffed inside their backpacks, entering so silently and so unobtrusively that no one even notices that they're sitting beside us until right on cue, they spring into action with the children's parting song. Taking their powers and special abilities with them, they vanish into the children's chapel or their classrooms. It's amazing to watch this group of dedicated, creative, caring, kind, and loving people collaborating and working together each week. It's really quite marvelous. Even the kryptonite of 2 weekend snowstorms this spring, when power outages and bad roads made things challenging, didn't stop them. Let's just combine our classes. Great idea. I have a wonderful lesson, and I have a really fun art project. Each week, these superheroes provide programming for our children, whether there is one child or many. Amazingly, there was not a single Sunday we had to cancel classes due to lack of adults. The great thing about the work of superheroes is that while they are busy saving the one in distress, they generally end up saving an entire neighborhood or city. Making a difference in the life of a child on Sunday morning begins an unending chain of events that will affect a family, a city, and the world. These superheroes touch the future. Wow, that is pretty cool stuff. The volunteers who facilitate and coordinate our adult programming are also superheroes in their own right. They provide a variety of opportunities for discovery, connection, and collaboration. As UUs, we believe that we are lifelong learners, always discovering new things about ourselves and the world in which we live. I've got to say, however, that if any of them ditched their glasses, snaked down to their skivvies, grabbed a cape, and parted their hair on the other side, I think I'd notice. Speaking for our entire spiritual community, thank you to all our volunteers for showing up, being present, and truly making a difference. Of course, you are teachers and leaders and mentors and guides and facilitators, but mostly, you are superheroes, and we're all pretty lucky to be able to call you our friends as well. Thank you. And I'll begin this morning by recognizing our adult volunteers, our adult superheroes, it'd be easy for me to say. And it would be nice if you stood. I mean, you don't have to, but it'd be nice if you did. The adult spiritual exploration coordinator with Judith Hines. Adult SE planners, Paul Olson, Hugo Liepman, Leslie Parr, Barb Thompson, you may stand up if you're here, Nancy Reed, John Turner, and Elaine Ball. Well, if you're down at the coffee corner, we will find you. Chalice Circle facilitators, Leslie Parr, Mary Jane Olson, Mary Ann Ludlow. I know you're here, I saw you too. Danner Friend, Marge Zunder, Nancy Reed, Hugo Liepman, Gail Picar, and Ann Sarka. And now I'd like to invite my helpers to come forward and help pass out some things. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to Liz Benjamin, who served as the, well, she served in so many ways. She was the chair of the SE committee, which she was very faithful. The one thing that I would say about Liz, almost at every meeting she said, and how can we serve the families better? That was something I heard her say many, many times. Liz also, when we were meeting at the Nature Center, every week schlepped baskets and buckets of things for teachers to use while we were at the Nature Center. So a special thank you to Liz. So Liz, would you stand please? The rest of this group, well, wait a minute, you guys. You did that part really well. Thank you so much. Okay, so these guys are usually very shy and don't show up for recognition, but I see almost all of them here this morning. So when I call your name, will you please stand up, and will you take them a gift if they're standing? Okay, so Nancy Schultz, Steve Grunwald, Danette Fuller, Janet Poten, Elsie Murphy, Kathleen Bryant, Tim Favorite, Jane Miller Arsenault, Dina Berwawi, Abby Callahan, Kathy Johnson, Andrea Tucker, Gilly Hopkins, Frank Saliani. Susan Koch and Andrea Tucker also helped facilitate our small group of middle school springtime fun enjoyers. The committee consisted of Johanna Nichols, Tim Favorite, and Liz Benjamin. Thank you very much. As we near the end of our service, I invite you to enjoy a brief peek at some of our Sunday mornings from the past year.
Teacher, I wrote this song for you to thank you for every smile. I know you had a lot to do. I'm glad that you paused a while. You took time to listen and to hear, to laugh and just be there. I heard that lesson loud and clear. I mattered to you, you cared. 'Cause when you reach out and you touch me with your heart, then you hold what I'm becoming in your hands. And though you're with me just a while today, you hold tomorrow's smile in your hands. In your hands. In your hands. Teacher, I wrote this song for you. Melody, words, and rhyme. Lessons you taught me yesterday have disappeared into time. But teacher, I never will forget a look you gave to me. I saw reflected in your eyes the somebody I could be. 'Cause when you reach out and you touch me with your heart, then you hold what I'm becoming in your hands. And though you're with me just a while today, you hold tomorrow's smile in your hands. In your hands. 'Cause when you reach out and you touch me with your heart, then you hold what I'm becoming in your hands. And though you're with me just a while today, you hold tomorrow's smile in your hands. In your hands. In your hands.
We give thanks, number 1010. Please rise. Times through. This past church year, we have been blessed to once again have the leadership of Sally Armstrong. There'll be a chance for, yes. Sally's first stint working for UCM was as the acting and then permanent director of religious education, a position she held for 6 years. We are fortunate that Sally returned to Montpelier after a brief time away. She taught with the preschool kindergarten team last church year and stepped in this year in an interim capacity to lead our spiritual exploration programs for children and youth. Sally concludes her staff role at the end of June, and at that time returns to her role in the community as a church member. This transition calls for our intention and care in supporting Sally, who should come over here. In supporting Sally in her change of roles within the congregation, and as we hope to have someone new to welcome into the Director of Spiritual Exploration position in August. So first, I ask you, the congregation, to support Sally in concluding her staff role well and in welcoming her back into the role of congregant and lay leader. And I also ask you to keep an open mind and an open heart as we prepare to welcome someone else with their own gifts at the helm of our spiritual exploration programs for children, youth, and families. You are a gracious and caring community, and I trust that you will live up to these tasks. Sally, on behalf of the congregation, and I'm sure I can't even use all of the words that would be expressed if all these people could speak, I thank you for sharing your humor, your deep caring, your creativity, and your enthusiasm this past church year. We are all so blessed to have you in our community. And the Spiritual Exploration Committee has something special to give you. Here comes Liz. We thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And Sally would like to say a few things to you.
Yeah, I told Joan I have been back in the town I grew up in, or the town Dave and I lived in 2 or 3 times, and when I left after COVID, one of my best friends said, "We've already said goodbye to you twice." So, the last time you said goodbye to me, it was very tearful on my part. Today, I am just overjoyed that I had this opportunity, that you trusted me with this. You think you're blessed. I'm the one who is blessed by all of you and by all the parents who trusted me with their greatest treasure, their children. So I thank you very much. And I'll be hanging up my children's name tags soon, just like hanging up my spurs. And you'll see me with the green name tag in just a few weeks. So thank you so much for all that you've done for me.
So as we prepare for the coming church year and welcoming a new Director of Spiritual Exploration, I ask you to not only open your minds and your hearts, but also to consider how you can offer your time to supporting our spiritual exploration ministry. We are in need of new members of the Spiritual Exploration Committee, as well as the Adult Spiritual Exploration Planning Group. Volunteers are also needed to share your gifts and your caring with our children and youth in our Sunday morning groups and other programs. And you can visit the Spiritual Exploration table downstairs to learn more and to indicate your interest. Thank you for all you do to build our loving community. And as we close our service, we extinguish our chalice and carry with us its flame of truth, a spark of hope and the warmth of this community into the days and the week ahead. And I invite you to join together in saying our mission statement. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home.
May the joy and love and light we've shared today go with us as we journey on. And whether it's morning, noontime, or evening, may we be brave and strong and true. And may we always, always strive to fill the world with love. And now I'm going to ask the children not to come forward, and I see you sprinkled all over in here. Maybe you can help the adults that are nearby to say our benediction that we use each week. Be good to yourself, be excellent to others, do everything with love. You guys are good. Let's do that one more time. Be good to yourself, be excellent to others, do everything with love. And now I'd like you to remain seated as we enjoy the postlude from Callum. And isn't it fitting that he began playing at UCM as a child with the prelude, and today he closes with the postlude as a young adult? Thank you.
I'll just quickly say that I sat down to figure out what I wanted to play for the prelude and the postlude a few days ago. And I knew very quickly that I wanted to play Little Blue. It's a very new song, and I thought it was very fitting. But I really didn't know what I wanted to do for the postlude. And I realized that both in the spirit of leaving, but also because it connects so deeply to my musicality, is improvisation is so important to me. And so I wrote a short hymn, and that's all I'm going off of right now. Let me belong to the winter. Let me find truth when I'm lost. Watch as I stand in the river. Drop everything that I've got. Let me belong to the river. Wash away doubt when I'm lost. Watch as I march through the winter. I'll give it all that I've got. Let me belong to the winter. Let me find truth when I'm lost. Watch as I stand in the
everything that I've got. Just as it should be, I'm on my own. Don't cry that I leave, cry when I'm home.
That went all right.